Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we've got maybe the #1 hazmat rye that you didn't know you needed. I am telling you, man, it is something special about this rye. I got to give a shout out to Avi at Northwest Liquors, and shout out to my man Isaac over at Isaac's Happy Corner, because had it not been for him and had it not been for Avi, I would have never stumbled upon this bottle. So, you know, Isaac, he invited me to a pick. So, you know, we're Onyx and Amber pick. I know Onyx and Amber is the hottest thing right now, but an Onyx and Amber pick. And we're in the back room and we're tasting stuff. And we're just like, look, I'm tasting Dusty's. Like, Avi is treating me like a new guest in his home. I mean, the hospitality was amazing. So we are going over the picks and the notes and things like that. So I think it was once we wrapped up that we, you know, he just started pulling out other stuff and we just had great conversation. So he pulls out this bottle, keeps the label away from me, doesn't say anything. We're talking about proof. So he looks at Isaac and he was like, don't say nothing, Isaac, don't say anything. So Isaac says, how high a proof do you think that is? You know, it has some heat going down. I'm not gonna lie, it has some heat going down. So I said, maybe 135, 140. I actually felt like it was higher than that, but it wasn't burned. It wasn't like a super burning feeling. The only thing I felt was just the heat when it got here. Like, it wasn't rough. It didn't have like a whole bunch of ethanol. So he turns it around and it is 146.2 proof. Private stock. This is a J. RIEGER and Co. This is distilled in, I believe it's Kansas. Yep, Kansas City, Missouri. So J. RIEGER has some amazing stuff. Now, I'm not going to say everything is top tier, top notch. I did taste the hazmat bourbon that they had. It was, I forgot. I think it was like 100. I don't think it was as high as this 142. It might even been sub hazmat, but this one, I'm sorry, 146.2. So I was blown away, man. I couldn't believe how flavorful it was. I knew it had some proof on it, but I couldn't believe, I was like, wow, this is great. So let's get back to the pick for a minute. So the Onyx and Amber pick that we are doing, or that we did, I guess they're just waiting on it to come in. And like I said, I appreciate you two guys for allowing me to take part in that pick. That was so amazing, man. It is 7-year, 8-month wild turkey juice. And it's probably gonna be finished, possibly a maple barrel, not sure yet, but once I left my notes behind, man, and I'm kind of pissed at myself, but I remember once we got to the last sample, we were like, oh, like, it was wild, it was crazy, because I'm sitting there with my sample and I'm like, oh, and Isaac's, like, his face is like, whoa. So at this time, Avi had to walk out. He had some customers to attend to. Then he came back and he took a sip, and the first thing he said was, oh. like we all knew, like, this had to be it. All right, so we're gonna get into this private stock, man. I had to give a shout out to Isaac and Avi, man, for inviting me out on their Onyx and Amber pick. I can't wait till that thing drops. I can't wait to get myself some bottles. But this private stock, man, this private stock is something else. I mean, when I hold it up in the camera, you guys can see how dark that is. That is super dark. I know I did not do all that damage by myself. I think it starts here when I got it home. I think I got it to here, and then I eventually got it down to here. I've had this bottle for probably about 3.5, 4 weeks now. And then I eventually got it down to here. And then I started pouring samples up and I've been pouring samples out of this bottle. I was supposed to take it to my man Eric's bourbon meetup. I got sick, couldn't go. That was a whole nother story in itself, but I know you guys want to know what the nose and notes and tasting notes are, so let's get into it. Very sweet, almost like a bunch of fruit juice on the nose. There's a grape note on the nose, a little earthy, and almost like a praline, like a maple / praline note. All right, let's get into the palate. Oh, I had to warm up. At 146.2 proof, I had to warm up. You see what I got on the table, warmed up with a little bit of the new barrel proof rye from Elijah Craig, had a little bit of the regular Elijah Craig. Man, I had to warm up to prepare myself. All right, let's get into the palate. That sweetness, there is a very sweet raisin. It's not crafty raisin though. Like sometimes, like crafty bourbons, and that's why I said their bourbon was the hazmat bourbon was a touch crafty, and their regular offering, it was 100 proof, bottled and bond. I thought that was a little crafty, but this rye, it's got like this beautiful grape note, this juicy raisin note. It's got this very nice woody note that sits on the mid, a little bit of char creeps in on the back, and that is pretty much it, man. All right, let's go back into the nose. I might be able to pick something else up. Still a little bit of grape, a little bit of char has started to come out of the glass now. And like that raisin that I picked up on the palate starting to come out on the nose. A hint of a citrus note. I'm trying to pick that maple note back up. I feel like it's in there, but it's very light now. It's very faint. All right, let's go back into the palate. The juiciest raisin with drizzled in grape syrup. Oh my goodness. Like I said, a little bit of that wood just kind of sits on the mid. It's a little oaky on the mid, but not bad. And you know, guys, I like oaky stuff, so that does not affect me at all. A little hint of char. It's getting a little more charry now, and that might be because like I coated my mouth with the second sip. But the flavors are just there, like juicy, sweet, table sugar sweet, fruit juice, the juiciest raisin dipped in like a grape syrup. Oh man, this thing is sweet. And as much as it heated me up in the store that day, it's not doing as much so now. Maybe, well, wow. Now I feel it. As soon as I turned, it was like somebody stuck a flame in my stomach. All right, so that thing is warming up. Okay, it's warming up. But that day, like, I knew it had some heat on it because it was like going down warm. Like it wasn't burning, but it was going down warm. Now I just feel it warm in here. Like that is amazing. This thing, I purchased for, I think it was $69.99 or $79.99. I got to go back and look at my receipt. Like I said, I've had it for about 3 weeks now, and I haven't looked in the receipt. I just kind of threw it in the box and kept it moving. But I think it is worth every bit of it. So I know it's hard when there are picks for you guys to say, well, why should I sit here and watch the video to the end? But a lot of local guys, because I go to a lot of bourbon meetups, people watch the channel, a lot of local guys watch the channel. So a lot of the local picks that I get, I try to put on blast. And this thing right here, man, Northwest Liquors in DC, straight rye whiskey barrel number 4089. This is a cask strength barrel, 146.2 proof. I know proof doesn't mean everything, but the flavors you're getting out of this thing, just like the District Made, that District Made I have, it is horrible. It's 141 proof, but it's absolutely horrible. This thing, this Kansas City, Missouri rye whiskey, this thing is amazing, man. 96.4. So when I went on their website, it's kind of hard because I only was able to find like the bottled and bond pictures that look like this particular bottle. I didn't see anything that talked about picks, but it did go into the rye recipe. So the rye recipe is 96.4. So 96% rye and 4% malted barley. I just can't say enough good things about this thing, man. So let's go ahead and get into the breakdown. So if this was a bottle that was brought to you as a special release, and there was a lot of hype around private stock. I mean J. RIEGER, and you asked me if it was worth the chase. Now, I've like I said, I am not standing overnight anymore. Those are only bottles like GTS, bottles that I know I can only get once a year. There's a very limited amount. But when I say this thing is worth the chase, like running from store to store, this thing is worth the chase. Is it worth retail? Whether I pay $69.99 or $79.99, either way, it's worth the retail. It is worth either one of those. I'll probably go back and look at my receipt and just correct it for the video, but it is definitely worth retail. Who is this bottle for? So I know a lot of experienced bourbon drinkers, and I couldn't wait to bring that to Eric's bourbon meetup, man. And I got sick and I couldn't go, and I was so pissed because I wanted to help. This thing is so good, I wanted to help it sell. So this is definitely for experienced bourbon drinkers only. 146.2 proof. It's not going anywhere near a beginning bourbon drinker or intermediate bourbon drinker. This might be fire. Like, I'm an experienced bourbon drinker, so like I said, it did not burn my throat. I knew it had some proof because of the heat when it went down. But other than that, yeah, I am not giving that to a new or intermediate bourbon drinker. Will it always be on the bar? So he's got cases. I mean cases. And at that price, with these flavors, and people who are going to get these samples, shout out to y'all, y'all know who y'all are, you would probably agree that this will always be on the bar until they run out. I do plan on going back. I am trying to get my bourbon budget in line, man. I go overboard. It seems like every month I go overboard, but I do plan on going back and getting another and another and another and another. I mean, I want to back these things up forever if I can. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out. Let's get into a drop. Till next time.